So yeah, very nice of you to join me once again for part
Glad to
two.
be back.
Yeah, for
Yes.
part two of this video. I've actually decided to split it up into two parts and not put it together because it would be like a 3 hour plus video. It would be ridiculous.
Sure.
So this is way better to post them separately in two parts. So yeah. Um, yeah, we're gonna start off with the first album of today. The albums we are covering today are Prequelle, Impera, and Skeleta. I've prepared some of the albums here. I don't have Skeleta on vinyl because I've refused
Oh.
to buy it because I don't like it that much. There are some songs
Oh.
I like. We will get to that in the end. But yeah, we're gonna start off with my favorite album of all the Ghost albums, easily. Like no other album comes even close to this. Like this is, in my opinion, this is Ghost's only like masterpiece, 10 out of 10 album. So yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to you, and you can start off with your two favorite tracks on Prequelle.
Um, so it's a hard one because just to give you a little background info on Prequelle for me, it was actually the first album that I went on release date to go buy it physically.
That's cool.
Um, and they did it here in Berlin as one would do it in the old days. So there was one shop here in Berlin that said, we're gonna open at 12. We're gonna sell 2, 3 variants of the album. But if you arrive in the first 50, this will give you the possibility to attend a free acoustic concert that Cardinal Copia and the Ghouls will be giving in 2 weeks. So
Wow.
that was a huge incentive to go to the store and buy the album physically. And the big question was, at what time do you go, and with how many other people are you going to compete to get these 50
Yeah.
spots? Obviously, so I ended up going a little before 8 in the morning, and there were already two people before me. So I said, okay, third in the line. That's okay. And also previously, 2 days before that, because all new albums come out on a Friday,
Yeah.
um, a music company here in Germany also did a pre-listening party. So if you sent an
Ooh.
email that you were interested in Ghost and listening to their new album, you could attend this party, and they would play the album once for you, give you a couple of goodies, and then you would have your taste of the album. Of course, Rats, Dance Macabre were out, the tour had started, and the biggest novelty was Miasma. So 3 tracks were already known, but the rest of the album was a mystery. Um, so it is the album that I would say has absorbed me the most in preparation. Um, it is an album that I absolutely love, and when you force someone to like rank it because you right away started off saying this is my favorite album, it's a 10 out of 10. This is where it's get difficult. Like from Meliora, Prequelle, and Impera, I can sort of juggle them and give an order, but it's based on a moment. So I would say definitely if you say what was your favorite album during 2018, 2019, hands down, it was this.
Yeah.
Even though I loved Meliora at that moment, it was one of my favorite. This album was spinning constantly since I bought it and heard it. So nowadays, looking at your question, obviously it would change my order of what are my two favorite tracks from what I would have said basically in 2018.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really hard, uh, but I'm going to say um right now, why not? It's going to be Miasma. Miasma is my
Ooh,
favorite track
good pick.
on the album.
Yeah.
I think it's excellently composed and executed. Um, I'd say the best part of the song is the drumming. The
Oh,
details of the drumming, the layering of the drumming is spectacular. I'm not a musician and everything, but when I listen to it on headphones, I just like enjoy so much what is there, what is being offered. And there's such a great build up to what comes. The riffage on this song is also excellent. And okay, yeah, the sax was a surprise. It's amazing. It has this 80s feel to it as well. It doesn't need lyrics. It's just it speaks on its own, and it's amazing. I just feel that everything on the song just gets better and better with every listen. Live, okay, it's great. You got Papa Neil coming out and everything, but in studio, I feel that one really finds how good this song is. So
Yeah,
that's my number one pick.
yeah. Yeah, Miasma is definitely a 10 out of 10 instrumental
Yeah,
for me. It's easily the best Ghost instrumental for me. And I think most people would agree. Yeah, the saxophone was definitely a surprise the first time, to
yeah,
say the least, but I still love it every time. Some people would say it's kind of cheesy. I don't agree. I think it's super cool. Some people say it's also a gimmick. No, I think it's super cool. And to see it live, Papa Neil coming out and playing, I think it's just a highlight of a Ghost concert. And it's nice sometimes to have an instrumental break. You don't
yes,
always have to have vocals on every track. Some of my favorite songs, not by Ghost, but many other bands, are instrumentals. I just love instrumentals. There are so
yeah,
many people that don't get instrumentals, they don't understand.
exactly.
But I absolutely love instrumentals. I think to create a very good instrumental really shows that the musicianship and that the instruments can speak for themselves. You don't always need a narrator in the form of a vocalist to tell you what you should feel or what it's about. Sometimes the instruments and the music itself can tell a whole story.
Yes.
So yeah. So
I
that's
think
my great pick.
yeah, I think also like the beginning of it links so well with the theme of the album with the plague. I feel this medieval times with the whole instrumentation and how this deadly mist is attacking me. You know,
Yeah,
it's so well done, and as you say, the narrative comes with the instruments. There's
yeah,
no voice needed. So yeah, number two is really hard because I'm going to leave an excellent track out.
yeah. Of course, it's going to be
But
the case for me too. So
yeah, and I'm going to go with completely a personal feeling, and I'm going to say it's Dance Macabre. I absolutely love the track. It was if I played one track for 2 years straight, it was this one. So that's why I can't deny it. The opening riff for me is very Scorpions 80s like, a bit of like Rock You Like a Hurricane. Um, it has an excellent drum beat. I think the best part of this album is the drums. And now I can say it is Ludwig Kenberg, so it's not that difficult to pronounce in Swedish. He's the drummer.
yeah, okay.
And I'd say producer Tom Daggett, he really used Ludwig to his best potential on this album because I would say this is a very drum orientated album. Um, it has a catchy melody. Um, the bass line on this I absolutely love. It is such a feel good song, and I think we haven't talked about it because we didn't we skipped the EPs, but anthem wise, I would say Square Hammer and this are at the top of Ghost like mainstream hits. And yes, the word hits I would use
Yeah, absolutely.
because this is definitely I would say Ghost party anthem.
Yeah,
Um, the feel that it has when it's played live is amazing.
yeah.
I love the solo. I love the guitar work. It's just such a catchy and positive song, and it just breaks everything that you would expect from this this amazing cover.
Oh,
And
I
you
love
have
that
a
part.
song that is pure 80s synth rock
Yeah.
as one of the hit singles. So it's just so great to just like lure people into believing, okay, I'm going to get some hardcore death metal Cookie Monster vocals, and then you get just clean vocals and such a great chorus. That's why I love that song so much. So I feel so sad because when we get to honorable mention, it's going to be even harder.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. I'm going to say this right away. If you would have given me a top three, I would put Rats in there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely put Rats in there. But I had to go with personal choices. So those are my top two. Yeah.
You mentioned Dance Macabre being a party anthem, and it's literally is a party anthem. If you look at the video, it's definitely a party. Like,
Yeah.
I think that video is just amazing. You mentioned last
Yeah.
week that you love this video for Cerise. I
Mm-hmm.
do too. I think it's a better video than this, but I love this video for
Yes.
Dance Macabre. I think it's just so cheesy, and it's this like 80s synth rock theme in the visuals too, and all the dancers and everything. I think it's just
Yeah.
super silly, but it goes along with what Ghost is about. Ghost
Exactly.
is not a dead serious band.
No.
No, like Tobias can be as silly as he wants to be. He is like a natural comedian. Like, so so yeah, I think both the song and the video are amazing. Not one of my picks though. I
Okay.
would
Okay.
say
Fair enough.
for my absolute favorite song on this album, and it's probably in my top five, and I would say that's Faith. I
Okay.
think Faith is just so great. I love how heavy it is.
It's very
And
heavy.
and it's very hard driving song, and it really moves forwards. We spoke last time about Spirit, a song that just stays the same tempo, like, and doesn't really change in energy apart from the end. I feel Faith is a song that really moves forwards all the time, just keeps chugging like a train, goes on and on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the heaviness. I love the lyrics. I think the chorus is super catchy. I am all eyes, I am all ears, I am the wall. I'm watching you fall. I think just, and the background vocals on fall and everything. Just yeah, they're and the guitar solo. Like, oh my god, such a great guitar solo in the song. And yeah, I love the end also with it, with the like church organ or whatever it's,
Yes.
and it's sounding like the Life Eternal, the melody of Life Eternal.
True.
I think I love that foreshadowing, because if it's the first time you hear this album, and you're gonna recognize this melody at the end of the album. So when you hear Life Eternal, you're like, "Oh my god, that's the thing from Faith at the end." So
Exactly.
so yeah, really good song. Faith definitely like a top five go song for me.
Okay.
Maybe it takes number one spot from Mummy Dust. Mummy Dust was my number one for the longest time. I think maybe Faith is my number one at this point. So yeah, really incredible song, and I think it's just from Ashes, which is a great opener intro, to Rats, which is what, like, immediately Rats became a classic, like, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I think 99% of Ghost fans loved that song when it came out. And I think it's just such a good transition from the very heavy part at the end of Rats, then
Oh yeah.
going into Faith. I think that's a perfect transition, and I love that. So yeah, Faith definitely my first pick. My second pick, it becomes harder. Rats would be a very obvious choice. I don't really like to go for the obvious. So I'm actually going to go for See the Light.
Oh wow.
I love that song. I've talked to many people about this album and these songs, and most people I've heard from say that they see the light as an album track, really an album track that you mostly forget about. I feel it's a standout for me. I love See the Light. The part Drink Me, Eat Me, and You See the Light, and all that. I think Tobias sounds really great, and I love the guitar riff in this song. If I'm not wrong, I think Tobias plays all the guitars on this album, which is really cool. He played all the guitars on Opus, and then he plays all the guitars on this album. I don't know if he ever did that again. I think on Infestissimum it's another guitarist, Meliora, and Impera Skeletá. So maybe he plays some parts. I don't know. I'm not too familiar. I don't read the credits that much. So, but yeah, I think Tobias' guitar playing on this album is chef's kiss. Really, really great.
Yeah.
And the drumming, of course, I have to mention that too. I think the drumming, I mentioned it last time that I feel like Meliora and Prequelle are the best albums for the drums in the Ghost catalog. And you highlighted the drums before, and I couldn't agree more. This is really a drum album. And yeah. So, See the Light, love the opening, love how slow it starts, then it just bangs, go right in. Yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. I just love that track, and I think actually it's kind of underrated. So
I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's a great song. Unfortunately, it's the only song that hasn't been played live from the album.
yeah.
It has also a very good beat, very good lyrics. It's strong. Yeah, I think it's overseen. It deserves more praise. A lot of people that I've spoken to about it don't like it.
Yeah.
They find it's the less like rock metal song on the album. But I think it's a tremendous track. Could be also in the category for a hidden gem or honorable mention, but that will leave for another song.
Yeah. And something I almost forgot to mention is the keyboards, the synthesizers in the song, just soaring, screeching keyboard. I love it. I love how much synthesizers are used on this album. Some people would say it contributes to the album not being as heavy. I think it actually contributes to it being more heavy. Heaviness doesn't necessarily always have to be guitar. It can also be other instruments. So yeah, I love the keyboards on the entire album, but especially on See the Light. So yeah, great track. Now, Phil, what's your honorable mention on Prequelle?
Which Image?
Yeah, great track.
Yeah, I mean, it's also one of my favorite tracks, so I had to put it. So as I say, I would say between Miasma, Rats, Which Image, Dans Macabre, those are my four favorite on the top of the list of this album. So I had to put Which Image somewhere. Also, it has a very strong vibe, which I absolutely love. The lyrics are really something interesting. Rotting flesh, your father, mother, I think it's a well play of what the cover is once again, what the theme is. The drumming I absolutely love on it. Right after the solo, there's just this amazing drum fill that I love, and it's played twice towards the end as well, and that makes it all for me. It's melodic. There's a very good solo in it as well. Yeah, I would say this song is definitely in my top 10 of Ghost's favorite songs. Yeah, I was lucky enough to see it live as well during the 2019 part of the tour. I feel it gains more in the studio, but it was also a great track to see live. He performed it very well, and it's a shame that they've never brought it back.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I absolutely love this song. Also on repeat many times when I got the album. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I didn't choose it, but I have to say that the guitar solo in Which Image is probably one of, if not the greatest guitar solo on this album. Just love it. Very melodic
Yeah,
solo, and yeah, really incredible. Love that guitar solo on Which Image. But my honorable mention is the track after, Helvetes Fönster. It's pronounced. Many people struggle with this that are not Swedish, but Helvetes Fönster is definitely my honorable mention. Again, the keyboards all over this track, and yeah, I have to say the ending guitar, the acoustic guitar, like it's 2 minutes or more at the ending. That's probably one of my favorite all-time Ghost moments. Just love it so much. I always turn up the volume at that part. Just love it. I think it's very beautiful, and I think the like very sorry screeching keyboards in the beginning and middle part of the song really creates an image. I feel this album is obviously about the plague. So in my head, when I hear those keyboards and everything, I hear pain and suffering. I see pain
yeah,
and suffering. I see like a small village or something. There's fog in the air. I see people lying outside the doors, like dying of this disease. And then when this ending guitar comes in, everyone's just dead. And it's dead quiet, and you're walking through this little village and seeing all the death and despair. That's one of the few songs that actually creates such a clear image for me in my head. And I think that's a testament to how incredible this song is. And there's no words. There's just the music, and that's an image I created in my own head. There are
yeah,
probably many interpretations, but just the title of the song, Helvetesfönster, like the window to hell,
yeah.
that fits perfectly with what I described, I feel. So, yeah, love this instrumental. I said Miasma is definitely my favorite. This comes very close on the instrumental list. And I actually love that there are two instrumentals on this album. So, yeah, Helvetes Fönster is definitely my honorable mention. So, what's your least favorite on Prequelle?
Well, I didn't comment anything on your honorable mention because it is my least favorite if I
Oh,
have to choose. Yeah, if I have to choose, forced
okay.
to choose. I find description very accurate, and I think that's what the essence and music and magic of music is, that it allows creativity to start boiling, and knowing what the album is about and having just a piece of music that speaks not in lyrics but yes in music, that has the capacity to create those images in you, I find it spectacular, and I think to each their own, they can create whatever they feel
Yeah,
in music.
of
But
course.
if it creates that, I think it's very spot on. um, if I'm forced to say why I put it in this position, maybe because of the fact that I don't feel it's an album that should have two instrumentals,
Oh,
which are both very good. Um, of course, I can deal with Ashes to start off the album and give way to an excellent track, which is Rats. Miasma cuts off side A, um, but then I feel that did we need this bridge between Which Image and Life Eternal? Maybe, especially with the description that you just say. The mist has passed, everyone's dead, and who survived? Um, I find it too, if it's the right word to say it, maybe too, maybe too Lord of the Ringish.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
at some points. And that type of music doesn't fit with me. Too folk. That's it. It's too. I don't know if that fits that much with Ghost. Of course, there's a whole folk tradition in Swedish mythology and everything,
Yeah.
but I don't know if this was the way to link it with an album on the Plague. I find that the song is a bit too long, even though it is not um, static. It is very progressive at some times, and it has beautiful pieces of instrumentation. Um, I'm just putting it there because I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe also I would have put Moria in there, but I've learned to like that one more. So without giving any hate to the song, it's only because I feel there should be only one instrumental, and that should be Miasma, and that's my reason. Yeah.
So the thing I like, you don't like. I love having two instrumentals and you don't. So
Yeah,
yeah, we can agree to disagree. That's the fun part.
of course,
Yes.
always.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So my least favorite. This is hard. But as I've said before, this is my favorite album. I love every second of this album. So this is super, super hard for me. But I'll have to say Pro Memoria.
Okay, yeah, I can
I
see that.
think
Yeah,
the lyrics are kind of too straightforward. Like, don't you forget about your friend death. Don't you forget that you will die. I
yeah,
get what he was trying to say, but I think even though I don't like Excelsis on Skeleta, I really don't like that song. But the lyrics are very beautiful, and I think the lyrics puts across the pretty much the same message, but in a way better, more poetic, beautiful way. I think this is too straightforward, as I said before. So, but I love the melodies. I love the beginning parts with the keyboards and all that,
yeah.
and the piano, very beautiful. Tobias' voice sounds great. Like I really don't have any complaints other than the lyrics. The instrumentation spot on. Love it.
Great riffs as well.
But
Yeah,
if I listen to this song and just forget about the lyrics and just goes along with it, it's fine. It's a good song. I don't have
yeah.
really a problem with it, but I had to choose one song, so it's gonna be Pro Memoria. But that's really nitpicking with the lyrics and
It's
all that.
difficult. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that would have to be my least favorite. So yeah. Any last thoughts on Prequelle?
Yeah, I mean, it's an album that I always love going back to,
Yeah,
um, because of the memory it sparks. Um, I think there is so much, and it's always be an album that will can keep shifting its position. It can only go higher for me. It won't go lower. It could at some day overtake another album for me. Um, I have it close to my heart. I think it's so well produced, so well composed and executed. And I think this one is the most difficult of what we've spoken about, of what we say are the best and what we like the least. It is a grandiose album, um, but there are two more albums to go through. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So moving right along, the next album, and I think if I'm not wrong, this is your favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Impera, and it kind of makes sense. I know what kind of music you listen to, and what bands you like. I know some of them at least, and it totally makes sense why you love this album. And I listen to about the same stuff. I don't listen to all the bands you like, and vice versa. But
Right.
we have many bands in common, and it makes sense that we both like this album very much. So
True.
yeah, this is an easy number two for me. Easy. So yeah, what's your two favorites on Impera?
This is really easy. So number one and above everything, it's going to be Respite on the Spitalfields.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this is musically, in all seriousness and depth, Ghost's best ever song.
I could see that.
Um,
I could see that.
it's an epic song.
Yeah.
It's it has so much to offer,
Oh, yeah.
so much storytelling. Um, it has to be one of, if not Tobias's best vocal performance, because you get a very mellow, soft at the beginning, and then when he comes in and he starts with a more raspy voice, almost you feel that it is like Jack the Ripper there, you know.
Yeah. All
He
the
is
dreams that
just
you dreamt. That part is just so
those
great.
those like final breaths.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard them, I was like, "What the fuck is he
Yeah.
doing? This is so good." It creates, and I commented this with a friend once. It is the song with most tension that I've ever felt in Ghost. You know, it really tightens the atmosphere, and it doesn't let you go. And then it rips into this amazing melodic solo,
Yeah.
and then you get this interlude that is, for me, pure Whitesnake, Still of the
Still of
Night.
the night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Me
and,
too.
and I've said it, like, the person who does not like Still the Night does not like hard rock or heavy metal,
Yeah.
because that is one of the greatest songs ever
Agreed.
done. You
100%.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it goes back to this tension, those breaths, and you're getting towards the end when there's also amazing drum work,
Yeah.
and then you get the angelical choruses
Mm.
that loop once again with Imperium from the beginning.
Oh,
Um, and these voices and the drumming and the guitar work is just going up so high, and then you get another solo in there.
yeah.
The first time I heard it, because I was someone leaked the album for me, and I said I don't want to listen to it. I need to listen to it first when it comes physically. So on the day it was going to be released, this was the 11th of March in 2022.
Yeah.
I was at home. I said, "Fuck it, let's do it on Spotify while the vinyl variants come." And I was listening to Respite, and I was getting towards the end, and it was just like, and then the solo came in, and seriously, I kid you not, I fucking started to cry. And I said, "What the fuck is this? This cannot be so good." And then it loops with Imperium, and I said, "Wow, this is like a bit Seven Sunish from Iron Maiden, but even more magnificent." And I said, "This can't be. I cannot believe what I'm listening to." And it invited me, of course, to press play again.
Yeah.
Um, so it is my all-time favorite song. Seeing it live 4 times, 3 times, I can't remember, was just spectacular. Um, he did lack these breaths, these strong breaths. He didn't do them, and they changed them at the end, where they prolonged the voices,
Yeah. I
these
didn't like
angelical
that.
voices. Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
like that on this album particularly.
yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't like how they used the Goulettes, the female vocalists, to like sing the melody of the ending guitar. I didn't like it. Of course, the guitar comes in after a while, but I would have preferred to just hear the guitar. Yeah, I think this is very much a studio track for me at least.
Yes, yes,
The production, everything about it on Impera, just there's like all these puzzle pieces that are put together, just making the perfect like art piece. Yeah, I think it works live. It works well. It's a good song. It should work, but I just prefer it on here, 100%.
definitely,
So yeah,
definitely.
I think most of the Impera songs on this album and other live concerts from Ghost, I feel they are well represented and I think they are well executed. But I just love the studio version so well. And I feel Impera is really as true studio album. Like
Yeah.
it fits the studio format so well with the production and all that. If you listen to like Def Leppard, for example, Hysteria, the over the top production and all the layering and with the voices and the guitars. That album is infamous for all the guitar overlays and all that, and of course the vocals too. Then when you hear like the live in the Round in Your Face and the other concerts they did back then, I feel the live versions kind of lack that, let's just say, backup from what the studio environment gave those songs and the production. So, and I feel the same way about Impera. I think it's a very true studio album. So, the songs live, but definitely prefer the studio versions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
So yeah, that's a great pick. For the long time, I thought the song was too long. I always loved that last guitar part at the end where it echoes the Imperium, chills every time. And I just crank up the stereo to 11. Like, it's incredible. And I understand your reaction when you heard it the first time, that you actually cried. I totally understand that. I just get chills on my arm when I talk about the song. So, but for the longest time, I thought it was mediocre. But now I absolutely love it, and I totally agree with what you said. So yeah. What's your second favorite?
Also very easy. That is Griffwood. Yeah, Griffwood is. I think this resonates more to your introduction, knowing the music that you know I like. This is all 80s for me.
Yeah.
It is very Van Halen-esque. Talking about love, it's Alice Cooper, Poison. It's also Def Leppard type of vocal
Yeah.
melodies. There is, and I've said this before in other podcast discussions that I've done with people. There's a Spanish band from the '80s that's called Sangre Azul, and
Okay.
I'll send you the song. You listen to the riff, and it's exactly the same as Griffwood.
Really?
I know Tobias is a very big fan of the '80s. I had no idea if he has ever heard this song, but I've played them at the same time, and it's exactly the same riff.
Wow.
It's really cool. So he must have. This cannot be mere coincidence. So it also reminds me of this band. I love the lyrics. Very political. Very to the sign of the times when the album was released. I think yes, it could be the. How could we say this? It could have been a sign of maybe Ghost going into, and I hate using the word, but I'm going to use it in a more cheesy direction. I'm your rock baby, and then we have on Skeleta Love Rockets, you know. But
Yeah.
I try to ignore it because the song is so good.
But those lyrics are really 80s. That cheesy lyrics from the 80s and the guitar riff and all that you mentioned. It's totally 80s, and I love the 80s. That's my favorite decade for music. So I'm your rock baby. I don't mind those lyrics at all. I love it. But Love Rockets, that's kind of taking it too far, in my opinion.
I don't know why, but yeah, I don't. I'm not convinced about Love Rockets.
No,
But then in
nothing.
Griffwood, you've got a build up once again to the solo. A very short, very melodic, very loud pitch solo, which I absolutely love. So if Prequelle was credits to Ludwig on drums, Impera goes to Friedrich Ackerson on guitars.
Yeah.
He's been very famous in lately with Opeth.
Okay, yeah.
But I know him long ago from his hard rock punk groovy band that was Talisman. If you haven't heard of them, please check them out. They're
Okay.
great. And I think here Tobias finally found his studio guitarist. I mean, you spoke how well he played. Tobias played in Prequelle. He does his solo of Square Hammer. He plays a Meliora as well. But now onwards, the guitar work that you find in Impera and Skeleta are just top notch. I think Fredrik Åkesson must be, and I've discussed with a friend in Sweden, the top one in the top three of guitarists in Sweden. You've got Yngwie Malmsteen, okay, virtuoso, whatever, Grand Maestro. You've got John Norum from Europe, which is
Yeah.
also a great guitarist, and Åkesson is up there with him as well. So the solo that he does, that's when you said you turn up the end of Respite, I always turn on the solo of Griffith to the max. I've had neighbors complain about it because I absolutely just love the positive punch that that solo gives. It's so short, so sweet. It's just a perfect 80s track, and it's something that I always wanted Ghost to play live. They only played it a couple of times in the States and Canada, Hellfested a bit, and then never again. So it's a
Yeah.
song that I would love to see live. And with the Respite, yeah, they're the best for me.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
my friend Gillian's. It's her absolute favorite song.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
comment that as
yeah.
well.
And she always talks about that track, and yeah, I love it too. It's not my pick, but it's an incredible track, and yeah, I think it's also kind of underrated. To be honest, I think it's just so great. So
Yeah.
yeah, great choice. Two great picks from you, actually. Yeah. My number one, or my first choice, actually, of my favorite is Watching the Sky.
Huge truck.
I
Yeah.
just, and we come back to the 80s again. This whole album is just so 80s, and I love it. White Snake, Def Leppard, like all those sorts of bands, very bombastic sound. The production values on this album, just like the 80s production. Um, just love it. But the guitar, the opening guitar riff is just so heavy. I love it so much. And you could argue that the lyrics are kind of repetitive. We go search lights, look for Watching the Sky. It goes on many times, but I don't actually mind it. I think it works. And if I'm not mistaken, this track was supposed to be longer than it actually is. I've heard that, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that Tobias actually cut the song down because it didn't fit on the vinyl. Because it
Okay.
would have been too long, and actually the guitar solo would have been even longer. So it would have been an extended guitar solo. That's just what I've heard. I don't know if that's true
Okay.
or not, but I thought that was interesting at least. So yeah, I don't mind the repetitive lyrics. I love the guitar solo. I love Tobias' voice on this track. I think it's really. Let's just see how I should say this. I think it's probably one of Tobias' crowning achievements when it comes to both singing and also how great of a guitar player he recruited for this album and all the other
Yeah.
ones. It just shows that he can really see talent and he can pick talented people. The drums, the guitars, his voice, everything just fits in perfectly, like a great puzzle, as I said before. Yeah, I think Watching the Sky, I don't feel like people talk about it enough. I think it's just such a great song. I think the part where you think communication is key, that's just one
It's
of
key.
many examples where it just goes up in a high tone, and I think it just sounds so good on this. And the guitar from Fredrik, everything just wow. Like
Yeah.
I like it so much that I can't really explain how I feel. It's incredible. It's so incredibly hard to put it into words. But yeah, and just that the guitar riff, and yeah, incredible. Just an incredible song with so much energy and like if this song and this album, just the entire album in general, if this album was released in the 80s, I think this would have been a huge album.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I
Definitely.
think this song would have been remembered like a peak guitar, electric guitar driven song if it was released back then. I think it would have been a song that people look back on and spoke about. Because I don't feel people speak about this enough. I just love it so
True.
much. And I
No,
think
I
it's
think
a
you
perfect end to side one. Just,
as well.
yeah, great ending. And the other track I'm going to mention is also the ending of a side, and it's Respite on Spitalfields. It has just become one of my favorites. And as I said before, it was not one of my favorites for so long. And these recent months, I've just loved it so much. Yet it has really grown on me very much. So I think both the end of side one and side two are the peak of this album. You have spoken about Respite on Spitalfields, think in very great detail. So I don't really have to go too much into it. We've spoken about the guitars and his voice. Both these tracks are peak Tobias, I feel, in his vocal range. Just sounds really great. Both calmer parts and the more energetic, really high notes that he hits. I think on both these tracks, great. So yeah, those are my two favorites. I was kind of struggling to put my love of these tracks into words, but yeah.
I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are my picks. Now, what's your honorable mention?
I'm divided between two, but I'm going to go with Kayserian. My other pick would have been Call Me Little Sunshine, which I feel is a great album track. It's a great live track. It's as Tobias said, it was a song that he was looking for to replicate a bit. We Will Rock You from Queen a bit. It has that beat. It has an excellent riff. I love the solo, and it goes so well with it went well with Papa Four and now with Perpetua. But Kayserian is such a great opener. It's such a great pumped up song with so much energy, so much velocity, but not making it something that you can't grasp. It has so much to enjoy. I think it has also right away written all over it arena rock, and that's why I think it was so well to put it as an opener, both on the album as for the concert.
And the concert,
I think the last two, I mean, Rats and Kayserian as album openers and tour openers were an excellent choice.
Yeah.
Kayserian follows that lead. It has great guitar work. I love the lyrics, especially the part "Far away from the stench of the heavens, long ago, yet so close to forever."
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. It's a song to get your fist up in the air and just like chant away with it. It has the beat to go hey hey as well after the solo. Very pinnacle to the pit, like in my opinion, in that sense. Yeah, I think it's a great way to kick off an album, and to grasp the listener to say, okay, like get prepared because there is so much coming. So that's why I think it deserves to be as my honorable mention. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
And I think like the gang vocals in the Hypa, Tia, all that part between those lyrics that you just mentioned, I think it goes very well. And I kind of have talked down on the Goulet a bit, but I didn't like the female vocal parts in the live show where they sing that, and it's very loud. They sing
It's very high,
very loud, which in the album it's way lower in the mix. and of course it's different in a live setting. I get all that, and they want to be heard, and Tobias wants to highlight them, and I get it. It's cool. It's cool. But I feel it sounds way better on the album. So it's just the same way as the end of Respect on the Spitalfields, where they sing the guitar part. I also didn't like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of shitting on the Goulettes.
Yeah,
I don't mean to be that way, but yeah.
I'm quite divided on that. I mean, I feel that there are certain songs that they really give them more layer live.
Yeah, of course.
For example, I think Absolution, they do a great job in Absolution on Right
Agreed.
Here, Right Now. There are some very high points. Maybe it can be with the mixing, I have no idea, but I feel that when I've seen them live, my biggest takeaway is how good the Goulettes are.
Yeah, yeah, they're terrific.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so maybe it has to do a bit with the mixing
yeah,
for the live album,
yeah.
but I find also image-wise they're perfect for the stage.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Um,
I'm not
but
against
I
the Goulettes.
feel
I'm just
no,
saying
no, no. But
these two
yeah,
parts I
I agree
didn't
with
like.
you that
Yeah,
when they do Hibatia, it's very loud.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead. What's your
Yeah, yeah,
honorable
I
mention?
think Kaiserian is a great pick. It's not
Yeah.
one of mine, but yeah, I'm actually gonna choose "Call Me Little Sunshine" as my honorable
Yeah.
mention. That song is probably my most played Ghost song ever.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of surprising that it's just an honorable mention, but it makes my top 10 easily when it comes to all Ghost songs. But yeah, I've played this so much, and I love gentle opening with the guitar and everything. And I think also Tobias kind of sounds a bit different on this song, in my opinion. Uh, I can't really describe it. I think it's some sort of raspiness in his
Yeah.
voice, which I really like. And I don't feel he sounds like this on the rest of the songs on this album. There's just some quality about it. I can't really describe it, but yeah, I just love his vocal take on this. Great guitar solo.
Yeah.
You could say that about every song, basically. Great guitar solo.
True.
I think just so great. I think Frederick is such a great guitarist. I'm not too familiar with his guitar playing outside of Ghost. I know about Opeth, but it's not a band I listen to. It's kind of way
Neither do
too
I.
harsh and too heavy for me. um, but yeah, I think he's a terrific guitar player, and you can hear it on this song too. And I really like the version on I think it's Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, is it Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon? I don't
Jimmy
remember.
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel.
I love the version on that. And more recently, I really liked Lacrima on the Jimmy Fallon show. I thought that
That's
was
also
really.
very good.
Now that's another album. We will come to that, but I just speaking of the two Jimmys,
Yeah.
I think Lacrima also was performed very good recently.
Very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, what's your least favorite on Impera? And this is really hard. I get it. It was hard for me too, but
Oh no, this is easy for me.
it's
This is
easy
so
for you.
easy. Ah,
It's
yeah,
easy for you.
very easy.
Okay. 20s.
It's 20s. Yes. Um, so as I told you, like try with Ghost always to just listen to the singles that are released officially. If the album ever gets leaked, it's a no for me. And when 20s came out, we had Little Miss, Call Me Little Sunshine, sorry. And then 20s came out,
Yeah.
and I was like, what the fuck? I got really scared because, of course, you get the first single and you start pre-ordering,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. Of
it's like,
course. Of
okay,
course.
and I collect all versions, so I was like, shit, I'm gonna have 40 versions of an album that I'm gonna fucking hate, maybe, because there's 20s. Um, and yes, hate is always a very strong word, but there's a reason. I mean, it has nothing to do with the musical theme of the album. It is such a contradictory track, I would say. Even though it is not a bad track in itself, I feel that it just doesn't fit in there. Now, why don't I like it? Because, and he's confirmed this. Tobias has said this is as some Brazilian beats from the favelas or whatever. For me, it's pure reggaeton style music. The beat is reggaeton, and if I come from South America, and reggaeton is this music style that's been present for over 20 years, and it's always the same shit, the same beat. It's decadent, it's trash. Sorry. And when I listen to 20s, it's there. And knowing the musical genius that Tobias has, that he experimented with this, it just didn't fit for me.
Okay.
His the lyrics are they're quite funny, but also his vocal performance is very good. I'm not
Mhm.
going to deny that. There's a good solo, but it's just like the beat that it has. It is nothing to do with Impera.
And also,
Go
I
ahead.
think the background vocals are kind of annoying, to be honest.
Yeah,
When I go 20 in the background, I think it's kind of annoying.
there's
Yeah.
this meme. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, I'll try to find it and send it to you. It was of Papa Four like performing, and they put right beside him like fucking 50 Papa plushies around him, and they were all singing 20s. You know, so I get this image of the fucking plushies doing that. Yeah, I don't know. It's
No.
just it just doesn't go there. Yeah, I'm destroying the song live. The performance is great on right here, right now.
Yeah,
It's really
agree.
cool with the dancers and everything. With him coming in as a boxer and everything, it's
Mm.
so cool. But it's just musically, it doesn't speak to me and anything. It has like these beats that the and the riff sounds a bit new metalish to me as well. So no, it's a no go.
The kind of music you described, I'm not too familiar with, or not at
Okay,
all. So
you don't need to. You don't need to.
yeah, yeah, I don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't mind it because I can't really recognize the beat and everything you're talking about. So I don't really mind that part. As I mentioned, the background vocals kind of annoying. I think his vocals in general really good on this,
Yes.
both on the studio album and live. I really, really love. And if you listen to this song and this album in general on vinyl on a really good stereo system, damn, the production and how heavy, especially this
Yes.
song is. It's just such a driving beat and the guitars and the drums and everything. I love the heaviness of it. Now the lyrics are kind of silly and they are a little political and all that, and you see that on the image to the song in the gatefold
Trunk.
and all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't mind it. You mentioned the skeleton dancers on right here, right now. When I first saw the movie, I saw it in theaters. Did
Yeah,
you too?
as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Um, I hated the skeleton dancers and all that. So I usually don't like when new elements are introduced. Uh, so I'm kind of conservative in that way. But yeah, and also when Skeletor was released, I just hated the whole album. I didn't like anything except maybe Lacrima. Now I like it more, but I still don't like it that much. But anyways, when the Skeletor dancers were introduced, I thought it was just so silly. I thought, nah, he's lost it. He went too over the top. Tobias, yeah, I know he's silly and with the tricycle on stage and the chapters and cornucopia and yeah, it's silly. It has a silly tone, but when I first saw it, I thought, no, he went too far this time. Now I don't mind it. I think the skeleton dancers are kind of cool. But yeah, 20s. It was very close to being my least favorite, but I'm not gonna choose it. Shockingly,
Wow.
so yeah, I'm actually gonna choose "Darkness at the Heart of My Love." Now, it's my least favorite, but I still love the song. This is just it has been a victim of elimination. Let's just say that one song had to be the least favorite, and it just
Of
happened
course.
to be this one. I think it's a bit too slow for me. Like 20s is just such a hard driving, fast song with so much energy, and then you come into this track afterwards. Now you could see it as a good break. You could see it as that, and I still like the song. Like I don't hate it, but I think it's a bit mediocre for me. So I feel like it stays in the same pocket the whole time and really doesn't, for me, give me the thrills. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So I like the background vocals and everything, and it does ramp up in energy a bit, but I feel it's not really enough. So yeah, but still love the song. No problem with it at all. It just had to be. I had to choose one, and it was this song. So a
For me,
process
it's a
of
very,
elimination.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's a very emotional song.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel the lyrics, I really like the lyrics. There is a build up for me. I thought immediately when I heard it, this is going to be a stadium hit. I could picture it with, in the old days, with lighters lit up, now with the phones, no phones now, but
Mm,
this is what I thought. This could really be like his other, or maybe his big breakthrough mainstream ballad,
mm.
you know?
Yeah, it's a great ballad.
I don't
No,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why it gave me, actually, I could even picture, and crucify me for this. I could even picture like someone like Ed Sheeran doing something like this, you know? It's no, but I'm saying it's a song that is very poppy, but in the end it has a lot of his mysticism and creativity in it. I love the vocal performance. Love it. There's great mix between what is in front and what is around. There's some growls. That part when he says like "paint a pair of eyes," and watch as they fade, and then "I'll be with you always." I think it's fucking an emotional song, and I'm so happy that they played it on this tour. It was really good, and I think he also understood because the potential it has, because it was the only song except parts of Monsoon's Clock that the lyrics were on the screen.
Oh,
I think he wanted everyone to chant this song because it has that potential to be a crowd favorite. I know a lot of people, not like you, who say process of elimination. I have to put it there, but there are people who hate the song probably more than 20s. You know,
yeah,
but I absolutely love it. I just wanted to give him my 2 cents
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I just have to repeat. I love the song, but
yeah,
it one song had to be last, and it's this one for me. But I
yeah.
think both Prequelle and Impera, or Prequelle for me is a perfect album. Impera is very close for me, very close. So yeah, love all the songs, love the transitions. I like everything about Impera, but yeah, as I said before, one song had to be chosen. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that was Impera. Now I don't have the last album, so I can't show anything. So you you can show it there. And Skeleta, I will get it eventually, of course. But
You have to.
yeah, I don't have it for now. So, yeah. So what's your two favorites on Skeleta?
Okay. I think this has also been quite easy for me because of the fact, I mean, you've spoken a lot of Skeletor that you don't like. And I would say that there is also things I don't like, and that's why it's easy to pick the order of things that we're picking today on this discussion. Um, so I'm going to say right away, my favorite song is "Marks of the Evil One."
That's
Um,
a good one. That's a good one.
it's Why do I like it so much? Because I feel it has the same beat, melody, rhythm as Which Image, which
Yeah,
we
it kind of
already
does
spoke
actually.
about.
Yeah,
It does.
I
See,
haven't thought
yeah,
about that,
yeah,
but yeah, you're
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So having that closeness to the song, but being at the same time its own song
Yeah.
is very cool. Yeah, it has great guitar melodies. I like the beat. It's more of a soft rock thing.
Mhm.
Lyric wise, there are parts that I'm not so happy with. I mean, the second writer is cool. I don't know. But then the whole chorus, like the there, it's just like, wow, this is really catchy. It really sticks to me. And then the part where he says, "When the moon eclipses the sun, it's just some hocus pocus sham." I love that part.
Mhm.
And then it goes into a really, really cool solo. Uh, then after the solo, it just cools down a bit, and then back to it. It's just such a well crafted song. I absolutely loved it. It's so funny because I was talking to the illustrator of the album.
Cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
he said to me as well that when he first heard the album, he felt himself also like repeating there the
Yeah.
part of the song. He said that song is very catchy, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I realized he was completely right.
Yeah.
It's actually the first thing after listening to the album a couple of times. This was the most memorable song for me,
Mhm.
and it instantly became a classic for me. I love the song. I wish they would play it live. Hopefully in the second leg of the tour, which should be announced. But yeah, that one ranks as my top pick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the good ones. When I first heard it, I didn't like the there part. I thought it was the same kind of annoying as 20s. When I sing
Okay.
20s, I thought it was kind of the same annoying thing. Now I don't mind it. I actually like it now. I like that part of the song, and I think it adds to the catchiness of it. And it's really a sing along chorus for
Yes.
a live show. So yeah, I agree with you. They definitely should play it live because it was made for the arenas, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
yeah, great pick. What's your second one?
I think I will always battle between these two. So at this moment, Marx is number one by far. But then I also feel that there's a second one. So the other one I would say, which actually offers something completely new to the album, because I feel that many of the songs of Skeleta have various elements that you can recognize from other past songs, which was the case of Marks with Which Image I Say. You
Yeah,
can find parts of Square Hammer in at the end of Peacefield, some bits of Griffwood and Lacrima, I would say.
yeah.
But I would say Umbra is something completely new that I had not heard before in the whole Ghost discography.
That guitar
Um,
solo, though. Oh my god.
yes.
Yeah,
So I,
incredible.
I was surprised right away because intro we were teased with it in one of the chapters, and I said, okay, where is this 80s synth coming from? Where is it going to be on the album?
Yeah.
Because they did that before. Also in the chapters, Faith was introduced, part of other parts
Memoria,
of
even.
Prequelle. Promoria,
Mm.
exactly. So I was just like, okay, we're getting a new song. It has a 80s feel. It sounds a bit like your Stranger Things intro. Um, where is it? And then get to the second last track.
Mm.
It starts off, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. And then it just switches into this 70s vibe, much more. Yeah, you get the cowbell.
Yeah,
They've always teased Ghost with being very in line with Blue Oyster Cult. You finally get the cowbell. You get a more retro keyboard sound, very Deep Purple, less, and you just get an amazing song.
yeah.
Um, you get the duel in the middle between the keys, and and the guitar. Great solo.
Yeah.
It's just so many layers to discover and to enjoy. It goes great live. I think it could reach at a point that it's going to be one of my favorites. It just feels so fresh, but being so retro.
Yeah.
And it's something completely different to anything else on the album. And I think that's why it's up there with Marks of the Evil One. So great and great chorus. I mean, in the Temple of the Holy One, I put my love in you. I mean, it's such a great play of words of fucking in a church. So yeah, it's a great
And
song.
totally an 80s chorus and all that. It just fits so well. And I think
Yeah.
the guitar solo, as you said, it's just so great. That's probably one of the top 5 guitar solos in the Ghost
Yeah.
catalog, easily. Just so freaking good. Yeah, I think the opening keyboards and synthesizers just creates a false sense of security almost. You feel like, okay, this is going slow, okay, and then just bang, and the guitar comes in, and you only hear the guitar for just a couple of seconds, and then the cowbell and everything. And I think Tobias' voice in the beginning, the altar is lit with black candles, those parts really good. And then in the Chapel of the Holy One and all that, just really great. I think Tobias, from like Prequelle onwards, really developed his voice. And I
Yeah.
think especially now, of course, in a studio environment, he doesn't have a mask on, like, of course. But I feel his voice on this album, even though it's not my favorite album, it's actually my least favorite, I still feel like his voice is just so great. Really.
Vocally, it's his best album
Yeah,
by far.
I
Yeah.
agree, actually. I think he sounds
Yeah.
incredible on this album. That little part in Lacrima, what's the lyric now again? I can never run and I cannot hide. That part,
Yeah.
just, that was unexpected too. So yeah, I think Umbra is such a great track. And I think Umbra, just like Respite on the Spitalfields, will be a song that people go back to and appreciate
Yes.
the greatness of it. So, 2 really good picks. So those 2 are 2 of the few really good songs on this album for me. But my first favorite is Lacrima.
Okay.
That's my first. That was the song that clicked with me instantly. Many of the other songs I had to listen to many times to even cope with, to even be able to listen through them, because I was really struggling with like the middle parts of this album. Cenotaph and the Profundus Borealis, those songs I was really struggling to remember
Yeah.
the melodies and everything. So, but yeah, Lacrima, it resonated instantly. I love the synth in the beginning, and that riff just attacks you in the beginning. And I think Tobias sounds really good on the song, ripping through every poem and all that, like a vampire should. And it takes one to know him, like I knew you would. Like, it sounds just so good. Just every lyric and everything he sings with such passion. I think he's really passionate on this album, and it kind of makes sense with the direction that he went on this album. It's very different because the previous albums were concepts albums loosely. This album was more introspective and personal to him, and looking at the world and looking at himself and the core human emotions and everything that we humans stand for and what we do and everything. So, and I feel that he really resonates with that theme more, and I think it brings out the passion in his voice on
Yes.
a whole nother level. So, yeah, even though it's not my favorite album, vocal wise on this album, probably the best. And I just love Lacrima, and just such a great track. And the chorus, really catchy. I like that the verses and the pre-chorus is kind of darker, and then when you come to the chorus, it's just really catchy and really light. And yeah, you could say that the lyrics in the choruses are kind of cheesy, but I wouldn't actually agree with that. I feel like, as I said before, it's about core human emotions and crying over somebody. That's one of the core emotions that we feel as humans.
Yeah.
So I think there's nothing wrong with that, and I think the lyrics work perfectly for the song. So and I also think the lyrics to Satanize, I don't like Satanize as a song, but I think the lyrics are really cool. Feeling that being in love with somebody is like being possessed.
Yeah.
And I think that's just perfect. And
Yeah, it's well done.
it takes, that song could have easily been "Oh Baby, I Love You," been like a David Coverdale love song kind of thing, but he put the ghost twist on it, and I can appreciate Satanized for that. But don't really like the song. But Lacrima is my first pick.
Okay.
My second pick would probably be Marks of the Evil One. I think the guitar melody in that is so great, and I think the lyrics are really cool too, and the guitar solo, really incredible guitar solo. Not just Umbra. Umbra has a great solo, but I think
Yeah.
Marks of the Evil One has a really good solo too. So
True.
I wouldn't let Umbra solo overshadow how good this solo is. Just love it so much. And Frederick, of course, is on this.
Yeah.
Such an incredible guitarist. I really should check out more of his music outside of Ghost. So because I like his guitar playing so much, but yeah, Marks of the Evil One, great. I like There. I love that part now. I don't mind any parts of the song. I think it's a perfectly crafted song, and yeah, really good. So Lacrima and Marks of the Evil One are my two picks.
Good picks.
Yeah. Now what's your honorable mention?
I mean, I like the format that we've tried not to repeat,
Yeah.
and being an album that we both don't like that much. I'm just going to add on a couple of things from Lacrima, not to put it as my honorable mention, because it is one of the songs that I really like.
Yeah.
So it'll also be in my top. But I would say it also reminds me a lot of Alice Cooper Poison, which I absolutely love. I think it has a great start. I love the video. I love the heaviness of the riff. The chorus, especially when the backing vocals come in. I mean, crying over someone like you is just so great. And then there's a part after the solo when the voices go high up as well. And I don't know, it's a very high key note or a high guitar note. It's just like so amazing, that part, that it makes me I get chills all over the place. So
Yeah.
it's a great single, great song. I also agree with you that it was perfectly executed on Jimmy Fallon, and it's also a great song that goes live. So just to add that, I'm going to go with Peacefield as my honorable mention. I think it is also a very good opener to the album, especially with these female or child choruses, or choir. I think it's really cool. It also worked very well live. Um, Although it doesn't come in with the punch immediate that Rats or Kaiserian has,
Yeah.
it is a song that does progress. And when the power comes in and when that punch comes in, some people deny it. There's no denying it. Even Tobias said in an interview which bands influenced this album, and of course you get right away Journey,
Journey,
Separate
Separate
Ways.
Ways.
it's
Yeah.
it's there. There's no denying
Yeah.
that.
I heard it immediately.
And I love that song. I love the nod.
Oh, that's a great
uh
song.
and I feel that then it gains so much power. The only bad thing about the live version is that all up to there is pre-recorded, and then when the journey part comes in, it is a live band. So it's so great. I also find it has a great solo. I love the end. I mean, that part is like on the peace fields.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love how powerful it is. So I think it's a great song that says, okay, what do we got here? Yeah, let's hold on a bit. And then it comes in, and then it doesn't let you go. And it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to play it again. So I think it's a very strong standout track. Maybe the weakest of the four that I love, that would be March, Umbra, Lacrima, and then I would put Peace Field. So those four are my favorite four on the album. And then the rest, it gets difficult.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
those four are actually also my four favorites on this album. I think all four of those are standout tracks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm also going to choose Peacefield as my honorable mention. Yeah, I think it's just really, really good track. As you said, the part Peacefield at the end, really good. And of course, it's very similar to Separate Ways by Journey. I I love I love that original song, Separate Ways. I love
Yeah.
that chorus, and I think Tobias kind of captures not really the same power as the original because Steve Perry is on another planet,
Another level. Yeah.
but I think he captures the energy and the vocal power in his own way.
Yes.
And I didn't like the song when I first heard it. I thought it was mediocre. I recognized that it sounded like Separate Ways, and I thought, this is a cop out. You know, he's trying to capture what was released so many decades ago. Totally changed my mind on that. I think I was just being pessimistic when I first heard it. So I think, yeah, Peacefield is definitely one of the standout tracks,
Yeah.
and I love it, and I love the beginning choir part. I think it's really beautiful. Child, take your dark memories, and all those vocal lines, really beautiful. So, and that opening guitar riff, just so like Def Leppard for me.
Yes.
Just love that. And I think Def Leppard and Whitesnake is all over Impera and Skeleta. I think the two most recent albums, just so much of that 80s sound. So yeah,
Yeah.
Peacefield, just such a great song. So yeah, what's your least favorite? Now it gets spicy here.
No, I've said it since the beginning. I was quite disappointed when I reached the end of the album, and I got to Excelsis.
Yeah.
I felt that right after listening to such great tracks, one after another, Marks of the Evil One and Umbra, it's just like, what can come next? Because I mean, Life Eternal was so great on Prequelle. Uh, Respite is also a great way to end the
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Then
said,
what
okay,
happened?
what happens next?
Yeah.
And as I've said, unfortunately, Skeleta, although it has top-notch production, sound, so many details and layers, vocally, guitar-wise, it's so good. There is a lot of refried elements
Mm,
in the mix, and I feel that where one sees that the most is in Excelsis. It's basically for me a lower version or an intent of being Life Eternal. It's it just doesn't work because it's been done before.
yeah.
And I feel also like the message in the end, how he ends the song, like, is also a very similar message to Life Eternal,
Yeah.
you know? So I feel that it doesn't bring anything new to the table.
Yeah.
I was the whole time waiting for a punch to come in or a surprise element in there, and
Mm.
it never came. I feel it's a song that doesn't progress It is quite boring.
Yeah, yeah,
And there are many times that when I get a new vinyl, a new variant of an album, I'll listen to it till the end. I want to see how it sounds, if there's any pops, is there any clicks, if
yeah.
it
Of
needs
course.
cleaning, whatever. So I'll go to the end. So once I've done through that exercise, I'll just pick randomly another color and do it. And the times I've done that, I just end the album. I lift up the needle right after Umbra.
Yeah, and that should have been the end. I think Umbra would have been the perfect ending
Yeah,
with that just
yeah,
so epic feel and that guitar
yeah,
solo and everything. It would have ended with a bang, just like Impera with Respite on the Spittle Fields.
exactly.
It would have been so poetic for both these most recent albums to end kind of the same way, you could say.
Yeah,
So I would have loved Umbra to be the last song.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it is not. And yeah,
It is not. Yeah,
Celsius, it's also my least favorite. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to add because the fact is, I'm not a musician. I've never created music. I will never create music, and I don't want to shit on anyone's art and anything. You know. But I'm a person who pays for the music. I enjoy the music. I'm a fan. I can give an opinion, but obviously I'm not at the level of creativity and genius of many
of
musicians.
course, of
But
course.
I can say when I don't like a song,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And the fact is, I feel that maybe, and this is just pure subjective speculation, that he has reached a winning formula. That's why you see that many tracks are very similar to previous tracks,
yes,
and he knows how this works. And now that the the direction of his band is more towards arena rock, he knows what the people want.
yeah,
So the days of darkness, opus, Satanism are over. There's
yeah.
play of words, there's still the sexual thing, there's more poppy things. We were also teased that this was going to be a much darker sounding album, that it was going to be more to the roots
Mm,
of the 70s. And the only 70s vibe that I get is in parts of Umbra. Um,
yeah.
so I feel he's reached a comfort zone. He's done well with many tracks, but it feels to me that this is his, even though it has always been, this is his first real solo album within Ghost.
Yeah.
Uh, he always wanted to do a track like Missili Amori with those cheesy lyrics. Maybe he thought, okay, Life Eternal was so great, we need to give it another chance, and we do Excelsis and things like that. So I just feel it is not the best way to end an album. I think this is the album that doesn't end on a very good note.
Yeah.
Although there's so many good, four really good tracks on it. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's such a downer to end on. It's just a very sad and very reflective song about life and death and the inevitable. Um, but yeah, as I said before, I think the lyrics are really beautiful. I think the lyrics are very well done.
yeah,
But this is also one of the songs that I really don't like his voice on. It just doesn't work for me. Um, you could argue that his voice fits the lyrics. He's being vulnerable. I can appreciate that, but I still don't like it. Just, I think he sounds weak, and that's probably the intent of the actual content of the song, of the lyrics. Is probably intentional that it should sound this way, of course. But yeah, I don't like it. And it's the longest song on the album. It's six
on the
minutes
album.
long,
Yeah,
and it just drags on for too long. So yeah, I think this album is 46 minutes or so. I feel like this could have been a 40-minute album. So just taking off Excelsis, I think it
yeah,
would have worked perfectly. Ending on Umbra, yeah, I think that would have fitted better. But yeah. Now, with this being the most recent album, now we've gone through all our favorites, honorable mentions, and least favorites. But with it being the most recent album, I actually want to discuss some of the more middle tracks, the album tracks on this, like the Profundus Borealis and Cenotaph. those songs specifically, what are your thoughts on those? And even maybe Guiding Lights you can throw in.
Guiding Lights, I actually love. So that would be my fifth favorite. I think it's also a very good song. Maybe I would dare to say in the line a bit of Darkness at the Heart of My Love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I find it has captivating elements. So I enjoy it. I feel it has a very good vocal performance. But I do like Darkness a bit more. De Profundis Borealis is also one of the songs that I like the least.
Yeah, me too.
When I first started listening to it, I'm like, oh, okay, you've got a bit of a Children of the Grave riff from Black Sabbath at
Yeah,
the beginning, and then there's so many progressions, changes, and then the chorus sounds like actual Iron Maiden from the past 10 years. So I couldn't wrap my head around it, and it's also a song I let it slide, but I would also lift up the needle after Guiding Lights. Zenotaph is a song that could be a grower, but it's very very soft for what Ghost is.
yeah,
I think there are elements that I like. Um, it's not as I don't dislike it as much as Excelsis and the Profundus Borealis, but yeah, also I don't think it's a track that needs to be deeply analyzed.
yeah. It really does nothing
Yeah.
for me. I think Cenotaph is not the worst song ever, but it's probably the most mediocre Ghost song ever. It's probably that or Death of Satan's Eyes or Idolatry. Just so mediocre. Really doesn't go anywhere. Does nothing for me really. Yeah, I almost always forget the lyrics and the melody. Now I kind of remember. I like the part where he sings through the sensations on through the storms.
Yeah.
I like that part. I think it's like you used to be. I think it sounds good there, but the rest of the song really doesn't go anywhere and doesn't really do
True.
anything for me. I think the
True.
Profundus Borealis is a much better song. Still, it's not very good, but it's very much better than both Guiding Lights, Excelsis, and Cenotaph for me. So, the Profundus Borealis is a song that I've listened to very much because I've really tried my hardest to get into it. Cenotaph is also a song I've really tried. I can't get into Cenotaph or Guiding Lights or Excelsis, but the Profundus Borealis is a song that I've kind of grown to like more, but
Okay.
still not really enough, and it's definitely one of my least favorites. So yeah, it's a real shame because I thought Impera was such a great album, and
It is. Yeah.
I felt that Skeleta had so much potential, and it fell flat on his face for me, unfortunately. Now I like it more than I did when it was initially released in April, but yeah, it's definitely my least favorite Ghost album. What's your least favorite? Is it Infestissimum or is it this one? Because you said you didn't really like Infestissimum that much
Yeah.
as the
I
whole
still
album.
haven't. I still haven't rated it yet, but probably those two would be my least favorite. So,
Mine too. Mine too.
although I absolutely love those four tracks, I really love them. And
Yeah,
what's
they are
great is I've
great.
listened to the album. I so far I've listened to every possible pressing of the album from start to finish, and of course that obviously wraps around your mind, and I enjoy listening to it. It's not like fuck, why did I buy over 50 variants on vinyl on it? You know,
There are that
I
many
haven't reached that
of
point.
Skeleta.
I haven't reached that point. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's yeah. There are enjoyable moments. There are things that I appreciate, but it is very distant to what the impact that Impera had for me, or even Prequelle
Yeah.
and Meliora. So I would put it there. I don't like using the word worse or yeah, but it will probably rank around there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not a super bad album per se.
no, not at all.
I think all the Ghost albums are like better than many other bad albums by other artists and bands. Like Def Leppard has have some stinkers in like
Horrible stuff.
in like the
Horrible
2000, like the X album. Like what
Yeah.
happened there? Yeah, but I guess we can finish off with this. Do you think that Tobias will continue releasing albums moving forward? Because some people are speculating now that he's kind of finished with Ghost and that he's gonna do these tours and maybe one more album and then he's done. That's what people are saying. And if people get that kind of vibe from him and from the band, I don't think that's really a good sign. Maybe it's because of the disappointment of Skeleta. I really don't know. Maybe it's because of the lore now ending very soon. Him not paying too much attention to that anymore. People not really liking the new character, the new Papa, because we haven't really seen anything from him. Just the concerts and live shows, but really nothing else. So what are your thoughts about the future of Ghost?
I think it's very hard to predict the future of Ghost,
No,
especially
of course it's hard.
knowing how, not even knowing how his mind works, you know? And I think the best example of the element of surprise is the fact that I remember when it was announced that the single 7 Inches of Satanic Panic was going to come out, 2 new songs. So the song names had leaked, Kiss the Goat and Mariana Cross. And there were people already who have too much time on their hands were trying to replicate what these songs would sound like.
Yeah.
And when the songs came out, it was just like nobody would have expected that they would have had this 60s, beginning of 70s retro sound. And I find that that is genius from him,
Yeah.
you know? So you never know what's cooking. And that's why I would have never expected when I really got into Ghost albums like Prequelle, Impera, Skeleta. But now that I see a bit of a repetition from Impera to Skeleta, is this a wake up call to say, okay, I've got to change the direction of my sound again? You know, because there's 3 tracks worked: Kiss, Mary, and The Future is a Foreign Land. They worked out great.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing that sounds like Ghost. But then, as I said, the only song that differs is Umbra. So if he realizes that maybe the reception wasn't so great on Skeleton, because I saw a lot of people destroying, hating the album, and that has a toll on the artist at some point.
Yeah,
Even
of
though that the
course, of
shows
course.
are sold out and everything, it's one thing the spectacle that you put on, and the other thing is the music you record. Um, I think they're at a peak, and I think he's going to enjoy that. He's going to enjoy the fact that he's sort of unmasked. You
Yeah.
know, that gives him more vocal freedom, more breathing space. Um, what comes after this tour is something that maybe many have speculated that we could get a greatest hits tour where he plays around and disguises himself as all the papas. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would say that would be great more into Ghost's career. Now I feel that Ghost is getting known. They sold out arenas. So maybe this was something to really test the waters, and we'll get an album that maybe goes back to certain other influences, roots, goes a bit darker. I can imagine that we'll get an extended Skeleton box set.
Yeah. I'm actually waiting for that to get my copy.
Yeah. So there might, I can imagine there could be some new tracks or unreleased tracks in there. I wouldn't want another covers album.
Okay. That's actually something
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I actually wanted to do another cover EP.
Yeah, but besides that, I feel that the future is very uncertain. It is a foreign land for Ghost.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
whatever comes, I'll accept it. I got this album. I'm still happy that I got the tour. I'm excited for what comes. I love the fact that there's no phones at the tour.
yeah. That's
Uh,
so great. Yeah,
yeah. So in that sense, yeah. I can't predict the future, but I think he will surprise us
yeah,
as always.
yeah. I think that's the perfect way to end it. Thank you so much, Phil, for joining me again. This
No,
was
thank you.
just a great episode. And
Yeah.
yeah, now we're done with the Ghost albums.